Genesis, whose drummer Phil Collins contributed the song In the Air Tonight to the soundtrack to the 1983 motion picture Risky Business, which starred a young Tom Cruise. Cruise would go on to later play Lieutenant Pete Mitchell, codenamed Maverick, in the film Top Gun, alongside Lieutenant Tom Kazansky, codenamed Iceman, played to chilling perfection by Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer was also in the 1995 crime thriller Heat, which was directed by Michael Mann, who also served as executive producer and writer on the stylish 80s police drama Miami Vice. A 1986 episode of the show, entitled Payback, featured a guest appearance by Frank Zappa as drug dealer Mario Fuente. Zappa's other acting credits include a role as the critic in the film Head, alongside the pop group The Monkees. Head was written by actor Jack Nicholson, who would go on to play tortured writer Jack Torrance in the film The Shining, which was directed by the late great Stanley Kubrick, who also directed the science fiction masterpiece 2001: A Space Odyssey, the theme from which was appropriated by professional wrestler and nature boy Ric Flair, and used as his entrance music throughout his whole career right up until when he was forced to retire after losing a match against the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24. Within the world of wrestling, Shawn Michaels is considered quite the playboy and has been linked romantically to a whole bevy of beauties, including Miss Pamela Anderson, who in real life was married to Tommy Lee, drummer from seminal 80s hair metal group Motley Crue. Motley Crue famously snorted a line of ants when they couldn't get any more cocaine whilst on tour supporting Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne was one of the founding members and original vocalist of the best band in the world, Black Sabbath, who in 1973 added Rick Wakeman to their lineup for the recording of their album Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Rick Wakeman famously played keyboards and synthesizers with the progressive rock group Yes, who in the 1980s were produced by Trevor Horn, who produced a lot of good stuff, but also produced the song Kiss from a Rose by Seal, aka the love theme from Batman Forever. Batman Forever was directed by Joel Schumacher, who also made the medical thriller Flatliners, which starred Kevin Bacon, who was also in Footloose alongside Sarah Jessica Parker, who was also in LA Story alongside Steve Martin. In 1990, Steve Martin played Gil Buckman in the film Parenthood, which was directed by Ron Howard, who does direct a lot of films, so it's probably still better known as Richie Cunningham from Happy Days, the show which was famous for introducing the Fonz into popular culture. The Fonz was played by Henry Winkler, who was one of the celebrities in attendance at WrestleMania 7, when the Ultimate Warrior retired the Macho King Randy Savage. The Ultimate Warrior would go on to feud with The Undertaker, and would eventually pass out after being locked in a casket by him. As well as being a professional wrestler, The Undertaker also tried his hand at singing, recording the song The Man in Black for the instantly forgettable album WrestleMania, the album. This was produced by Uber producers Stock Aitken and Waterman, who were responsible for a lot of Bananarama's output, including the single Robert De Niro's Waiting, which was written about actor Robert De Niro, who has been in loads of stuff, including Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas, in which he starred alongside Lorraine Bracco, who was also in The Sopranos alongside Stephen Van Sant. Stephen Van Sant's day job is playing electric guitar in the E Street Band alongside Bruce Springsteen. In 1978, Bruce Springsteen wrote the song Because the Night, which would become a hit for Patti Smith. Patti Smith sang backing vocals on the song Ebo the Letter, which was performed by R.E.M. R.E.M. were one of the brightest stars of the emerging Athens, Georgia scene of the early 1980s, along with the group the B-52s, who changed their name to the BC-52s for their brief cameo in their 1994 live-action adaptation of the cartoon The Flintstones, which starred Kyle MacLachlan as bad guy Cliff Vandercave. MacLachlan was also in David Lynch's Blue Velvet, as was Dennis Hopper, who threatened to blow a bus up in the film Speed, before being thwarted by a highly uncharismatic police detective played by Keanu Reeves, who also played Ted in the Bill and Ted films, alongside Bill, played by Alex Winter, who played a teenage vampire in the horror comedy The Lost Boys alongside Keith Sutherland, whose father Donald Sutherland appeared in the music video to the song Cloudbusting by Kate Bush. In 1986, Kate Bush reached number 3 with the song Don't Give Up, which was a duet with Peter Gabriel, the original vocalist and sometime flute player of the band Genesis.